I don't know, it's fun because like the more people we help, the less people that are suffering. And the less people that are suffering and have more energy, they're going to go help more people. And so I think this is where a lot of people are getting ripped off. And then these companies need help. These owner founders are working their ass off. Their families are suffering. Their kids are suffering. Kids don't have parents because the parents are working so much. You know, communities don't have great leaders because the leaders are stuck in their companies. So I get to architect the life that I wanted to live. And the question is, what is the life that you're going to architect that you want to live? We just don't know what we just don't know. So how do we go find the information? And that goes back to kind of number one, you've got to get rid of the ego, and you've got to go find the information and really try to take action. And it's really hard.
Welcome back to the Hustle and Grind podcast, the show where we dig into why real entrepreneurs trade comfort for conviction. This isn't about vanity metrics or overnight success. It's about the stories behind building a reputation that actually matters. I'm your host, Andrew, keynote architect, platform builder, and fellow founder in the trenches. Today, I'm sitting down with Troy Hoffman, the serial entrepreneur who started his first company, Suds Brothers, at 12 years old and is now the founder of two multi-million-dollar ventures, Simplurus Inc. and BalanceGenix. So, Troy, thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate it. I am really looking forward to chatting with you because, man, you're just a cool cat. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I really enjoyed having you on today. Thanks so much, man. So we've known each other for a number of years now, and I know your thing is about founding businesses. That's kind of what you do right now. And you've done this for how long have you been founding businesses at this point?
I started probably over 32 years now.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's starting to really add up, Andrew. It's really adding up. It's crazy. So
those numbers we don't always want to acknowledge, but
I turned 50 this year, and we were launching pretty legit businesses. We had people in when I was 18 and real EIN numbers or real taxes or real and then before that, tons of the normal stuff, right? Painting signs, and mowing lawns and detailing cars and having friends do it with you and stuff. So it's been the journey, man. We're doing a lot of them now. We're doing a lot of companies now. It's a lot. It's crazy. The portfolio companies.
Oh, yeah. So for people that might not know what that is, portfolio companies, what is that?
Those are companies we're actively invested in helping grow and scale. Mm-hmm. And we've been trying to do this for a while, and I just didn't really know how to do it. It really took me a long time to really kind of screw up a lot of things on a regular basis before kind of learning how to help companies grow, how to help myself grow, how to be acknowledging what to do, when to do it, and how to do it for myself, and then trying to do the same thing for other people, then help coach them or give them capital or help them give them money to help them grow along the way. And I think that's kind of been one of the my growth process. And I think it's every entrepreneur's growth process, right? How do you learn all this stuff and how do you apply it and how do you consistently apply it? And then when do you tap out and just give up on trying to keep doing this stuff over and over again? And, one guy we met recently, he's completely out of the game. He's like, I'm done. I built a company. I'm done. I'm just going to go sit on beaches and hang out. I don't want to work much. And he's living his best life. We were hanging out with him yesterday and and I was with a couple other guys that are like, no, man, we're all in. We're aggressively still going forward. And, it's just different choices. Everyone's got different games they want to play. So,
yeah. I don't know about you. Do you ever see yourself retiring? Because I don't think I ever see myself retiring, actually proper, not doing anything retiring. I'll always have my hand in something. What do you think?
I don't think so anymore. I tried. I legit tried. I literally we were driving along the west coast of Mexico we were pretty much doing nothing but surfing and traveling and kind of bouncing for about 3 months, Andrew, and through the West Coast, and we'd hop on a call maybe once a week with some different friends or pick up a do some coaching randomly for some people for fun, but doing really nothing. Just going to see ruins and surfing and fishing and eating these amazing meals and with my wife, and it was this epic time. And really did that all around the world, actually, for quite a few years. And, I was bored in a lot of ways. It was epic. And at the same time, you want to be involved in something. You want to build something. And that was for me, right? Other people kind of like just chilling, right? So it's got to be what do you want? I tried retiring. It wasn't my world, right? It was, I think you were even around through some of that, in 21, 22, 23. I didn't do a whole lot of anything. I was really kind of just laid back, just hanging out around stuff. So,
Well, I think that's one of the things is I see retirees get to this point too, and I guess that's retired as well. You don't have a purpose. I mean, we're built to go build stuff. That's what we do really well. We're entrepreneurs. We're designed to do that sort of a thing. And I think when you get outside of that world, yeah, it's great. I mean, going and traveling around the world, you're doing your 2025, turning 50 this year, travel schedule going on, but it's nice, but it doesn't really fulfill. Is that what you found?
no, I mean, you got to figure out what is fulfillment for you.
Yeah.
What is it that you want? What is it that you want to grab into your life? What do you want to see? What do you want to feel? What do you want to do? What do you want to hear? What feeling are you seeking, right? One of my friends, Naveen Takar, one of the most brilliant investors of our time, brilliant CFO, brilliant finance guy. I mean, Google him; he's amazing. He was in our wedding. Came down, supported his great friend. He always says, Troy, we do all these things for the feeling we're going to get. And I think that's one of the key factors is really kind of understanding of why are we doing these activities and what feeling am I trying to hunt down by doing these things, right? I mean, there's only so much money or so much things that people always think about, but I think it becomes a feeling. Like I enjoy this intellectual process of like, how do I grow something? I enjoy the intellectual process of like, you and I bouncing and trying to figure out the next business, or working with Chris, or working with other friends of ours, and we like talk about like, if they're going to scale something, or if they're going to sell their company, or how they do their tax planning, estate planning, how do they get more out of their body, how do they live a better travel schedule, a relationship schedule, how do they get more out of their relationship with their wife or kids or something, right? Like I enjoy these conversations. I enjoy a lot learning more and growing in the process, right? So the question is, what do you enjoy? What do you want?
Exactly. And I think our version of retirement is going to look different, like what we do at the end of our lives. And it's what you're doing, where it's helping other companies build and founding them and showing what you've learned over 30 years worth of building companies. Now I'm going to pass that along and help a bunch of other people with it. So
100%. Yes.
And that sounds like a whole lot of fun. So that's ever since you told me about founders, that was one of the things I wanted to learn. That's now a goal for me. Like part of my 10-year goal is to be able to do that because it just sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like a good retirement.
Well, it's fun because every day you sit on something, you're like, how can I help somebody else? And it just feels, it's really a wild thought. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's fun because like the more people we help, the less people that are suffering.
Yeah.
And the less people are suffering and have more energy, they're going to go help more people. And it's kind of like, how do you change the world? Well, you change yourself, then you change your family, then you change your community, right? You can't go change the world first. You got to change yourself first. Yeah. And then after you change yourself, you're like, oh, I learned how to do this, 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 and that, right? And now you can teach somebody that and show them like, hey, well, you might want to consider this. You might want to do things, operate this differently. You might want to go about this process differently. And all of a sudden, like, they do that and their life's changed. They're getting better results. I mean, that's why you and I go to all these events all the time. It's like, okay, well, how do I up-level my finances, my fitness, my friendships, my future? How do I up-level all these things? And then my faith, my all these things I'm doing, and all of a sudden we do these things, and like, oh, my life becomes better. I'm suffering less. I'm negative less. I'm more positive. This the enjoyment. My sleep's great. I feel great. I feel like more energized. I don't feel any anger, sadness, bitterness, hatred, like all these emotions. And then, okay, well, how do you help other people experience that? And then we help people economically. Then we help people. Those people then go empower other people. Like I'm actually wearing a founder's hat right now, and we just haven't even changed from the gym yet because kind of had this great day of like, man, all of us were at the gym this morning, a bunch of people in town for the founders group right now. We had a great founders event yesterday with a bunch of people we all work with. And then we got deep into this new, we're building a founders fund in India, and we're building a founders fund in America. We're doing equities and stuff and growth companies in America. And we're doing these amazing growth companies. We're getting access pre-IPO and helping them go IPO with these incredible companies in India. And we were working that for a few hours this morning with one of a guy out of Puerto Rico here that's owns one of the top kind of like investor newsletter companies in really the United States. Really, it's amazing. He has 7 different investor newsletters, and just going deep on how we're going to be able to bring funds, information, technology, resources, concepts to companies in India that operate in a different way, right? They can bring stuff to us and we can help bring stuff to them. and we're going to help these companies really grow and scale. And a lot of owner founders don't have access to the capital markets like we do in the United States, because it's just not structured like that there, where we have bankruptcies and we get loans so easily and we get mortgages, and people just naturally are used to mortgages. They don't have the same future, right? The same ability to access these capital, right?
Yeah.
So an incredible conversation we had this morning, and then rolled in another conversation about marketing, rolled in another conversation about presentations on events we're going to do, and how we're teaching more content to owner founders on these quarterly events we have, where we help people scale and exit. And and all of it, now all of a sudden it's already like 4 or 5. I'm like, oh my God, where'd my day go? But it was all super fun topics, right? That's the thing, we get to do this, so.
I was in an event with a friend of mine a while ago. It was actually a birthday party, and it's funny. We were driving home afterwards, and he's like, "Look, I got to be honest. No, nothing. I don't mean offense by this, but that was kind of boring, because we weren't talking about the things we're building. We weren't talking about the stuff. To us, that's fire for me. I love to have that. Like, I don't want to talk about the weather or what happened on a TV show, or that. I couldn't care less. I want to go talk about the cool stuff I can go build.
Yes.
Yeah. And once you get into one of those rabbit holes, it just kind of, the day has two hours in it, 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. and nothing else in between, right?
It's wild, right? It's like, it just goes by out of nowhere. So
talk to me a little bit more about Founders, because I want to make sure it's such an amazing organization. I want to make sure it gets some time on here. So talk to me a little bit about why you started it. Let's start that first, because I think we got into it, but let's go there.
So I was actually building another company with another guy. Is my business partner now, Nick Long, and he was kind of in the M&A space, and we were talking about why these M&A deals fell apart for him and with his other partner that he had in the M&A firm. And it was really kind of wild, because so many deals go south, so many people don't sell, so many companies don't grow, so many companies get stuck, so many owner founders just don't go anywhere. We kept talking about it, and then we started, and we've both been doing coaching because it's fun. We love it, right? We grew up in the same like men's group where you just kind of coach people, and like Nick's been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it. He really got into it for a while, built a huge group called the Multiples Club, and had tons of people involved and helped them scale a ton of companies, had some incredible partners like Eddie Wilson and one of the Shark Tank guys. And we're just kind of diving into this topic, and also we just kept identifying, like, why aren't people scaling and exiting? What happened with his group that he tried building? We kept trying to think, like, how do we help more owner founders? Because we had more guys calling us and more companies saying, hey, can you reach out? Can you help me talk to them? And next thing you know, like, I'm on the phone like 8 hours a day for free with a lot of companies. I'm saving them a ton of money, helping them save a ton of time, growing things. Some we were just charging, like, I don't know, simple fees like $500 an hour. Finally just said, like, hey, it's $5,000 an hour. If you want to hop on and start with me, we'll start at $5,000 an hour now, or I don't want to even be involved, just because I'll make more money investing and helping that one company scale and exit than spending my time trying to do coaching now, right? A lot of these coaches can't really help people scale and exit a company because they've never done it. They don't know what they're doing. They don't even know what they're looking at. So they're wasting time on having you do gratitude practices and writing out your goals and some of the stuff that is great, but it should be done in minute 1 and 2, not for an hour a week for 12 weeks, And so I think this is where a lot of people are getting ripped off. And then these companies need help. These owner founders are working their ass off. Their families are suffering. Their kids are suffering. Kids don't have parents because the parents are working so much. Communities don't have great leaders because the leaders are stuck in their companies. And this is why so many organizations are failing around the U.S. and around the world, right? So it was like Nick and I kept talking. It's like, how do we build a better organization? It was like, well, we should create this thing called Founders, which is owner founders helping owner founders scale and exit. We target 3 to 30 million that want to grow to 30 to 300 million. And we teach them all this tax stuff we learn. We teach them all this estate planning. We teach them how to scale. We teach them all this exit prep. We teach them all these things that you only sell once, most owner founders, right? When you've seen tons of deals and tons of companies come and go, you're like, oh my God, I'm learning all this stuff. There's got to be better ways of doing this. And then we're great at marketing. We're great at sales, Nick was. And so when I was like, man, I've seen this. I've been in EO since 2010, 2011. Like, I think there's a lot better way of companies getting the right information at the right time from the right person to do the right action next that unless someone's actually architected this and done this before and seen all this before, we don't know what to do, when to do it, or how to do it because no one's ever taught us. And the people, it's the blind leading the blind in EO sometimes. And then by the time you get to YPO, there's different conversations and different ways that it's like not as clean as it could be. And then it's like there needs to be an organization that focuses on just scale and exit and the reentry of exit. So after you sell, you know even where you're going to get your insurance from, where are you going to get your life at? What are you going to do with your time? How do you not invest and blow all the money? How do you get the right RA that fits you culturally and your beliefs, right? So we really started building a whole ecosystem of coaches, of consultants, of M&A people, of RIA people, of insurance, of funds, so people kind of know how to scale, exit, and reentry. They have the best team around them with fractional CFOs, attorneys, and they really learn all the things they need to know because think about this, for every million they get, they're going to save $200,000 to $500,000 in taxes, depending on their company's structured. So they get 10 million, they're going to save 2 to 5 million. If they get 20 million, they're going to save 4 to 10 million. So one of their jobs is not only building their company, another job is learning how to sell their company and be ready for sale and be prepared for that moment, which may only happen once in a lifetime, but it's worth a lot of money to them. So.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things, just to go over it, that when you're saying M&A, that means mergers and acquisitions. It's specifically about selling the company. And I think that's something that we don't think about, especially if it's your first company. You don't think about selling it. That's your baby. It's your thing. There's a huge identity tied to it. Yeah. And you're coming at this from the other direction of, no, always think about the sale, which I think took me a little while to get used to.
And you're going to exit.
But it helped.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're going to exit in 20 years or 40 years or 50 years. You're still going to exit. That company, the economy, something's going to make you exit. You're going to exit on your terms or on someone else's terms. You're going to exit because you went bankrupt. You're going to exit because you sold. You're going to exit because you died or because, you got a great deal. And I think we need to really look at that and be like, hey, we need to be prepared that everything's ready to go. Or you just literally just one day just say, hey, I won the lottery, 100 million. I'm going to go on a world cruise, just go chill out. And I'm just going to step away from my company today. Here's the keys and hand the key off to the next person. It's got to be ready for that. Or you're stuck or all these people are going to lose their jobs or livelihood because of you. So no matter what you do, one of the things you have to do is you need to prepare you first, then your company for your exit, whatever that is, where you're no longer involved, right? As your resources, this is the conversation no one had with me at all, almost zero. And I was like, so I had to learn all this myself. I had to go and seek it. I had to spend tens of thousands of dollars in just hiring CPAs and going to classes, spend thousands of hours studying stuff that no one talked about, start putting all the pieces together, and then spending like $25,000 for this trust and another $60,000 for this trust makeup, and then spending I think it was $6,000 a quarter to hire this RIA to teach me something. That basically one meeting a month, which is basically a meeting would cost me $2,000 an hour for that meeting, dragging things out, meeting with whole life policy people, and they teach you one little thing over here. Then this variable life person tells you one other thing. Then this stock equities guy says you need to have stocks here, here, and here. It's not an aggregated view. Mm-hmm. And then the asset protection person says, oh, do this and put adapt over here. It's not a clean, cohesive thought process that people have around this. Then they don't really relate it to your company. Should I be buying COLIs or captive insurance companies for my company? I don't know until we look at that person's situation, what they're doing and where they're going. But at least now I can have a conversation about A to Z from start to finish of their company and what to do with their assets, their mindset, their taxation, they're setting up their family trust. All these things matter where they want to live. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. That was part of my plan, was to move to Puerto Rico because I still want to build more businesses. You don't want to sit on the beach all day and watch people go swim down there and go surfing, right? I like it. I like sitting on my couch. And then, this is actually our office right here where we're actually working out of. And the dog's pen is right there, right? The dog's at an ocean view dog pen. And then there's some balloons from one of our team members that's in town. It was their birthday, Dina's birthday. We have a lot of fun doing what we do, and people just kind of hang out and work together and, do life together as families too. And yet we're still building companies all day. We're hanging out with their babies, and yet we're still building companies. We're traveling and still building. So I get to architect the life that I wanted to live. And the question is, what is the life that you're going to architect that you want to live? And then how do we do that intentionally? I mean, again, Ashley and I, we work together building all the companies. She and I spent about 3 hours with 3 different tax attorneys in a room with our other CPA in America that works full-time with us. And we're all just architecting all these tax strategies for how we're going to do things in the future to maximize our tax benefits and build a lifestyle of doing these activities in this way, documenting in case we ever get audited, so everything's clean to the T, to the I, dotted in all these ways, so I can do my certain lifestyle that I want to do. I want to live on the island X amount of months. I want to go live in the U.S. X amount of months and travel around, not really live, but just travel around it under 3 months and then live around the world, all over the world one day, right? I want to go build companies in India. We have this amazing India fund. We can build companies in Mexico or hopefully Peru and like all these fun countries, Italy, whatever opportunities we get, because there's entrepreneurs globally that have great ideas, who are fantastic leaders, who just need the right information at the right time so they can take the right action.
Yeah, I was going to say, the last time I talked to you, you were tooling around trying to look for something for altitude sickness in Peru, in Lima.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, man. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Some of the people that I've seen, or a good portion of the people that I've seen, especially in the learning industry where I came from, they own a job. They don't really think about ever selling that, or their company is an asset, or that this is something I can pull equity out of. This is something I can sell if I have to pivot. They just don't think about that. So I wanted you to go into that. Thank you for doing that, because it really, the 2 key takeaways from that: 1, your business is an asset. Treat it as such. It's not a job. 2, make sure that you're designing that lifestyle that you want, and it's a means to an end for it. And I think that's something we don't hear enough of. So awesome, man. Cool. So what are some of the things that you have seen out of over 30 years? What are like the top 5 things you've seen founders do wrong, and how to fix them? Just briefly, like, we're top 5 for whatever it is, whatever comes off the top of your head.
So number 1, I've been talking a lot about ego recently. The guys that are making the most money, doing the biggest things, and achieving the most, man, they have almost no ego, and they're moving at lightning speed because of that. Yeah. I wish I could say their name. Both are pretty young guys. One guy is about 26 in age and just crushing it with family and his business and the tens of millions he's worth easily right now. The lifestyle he's living, his body, his health is, I'm just watching, and he's just getting the best mentors and taking the most action at the highest level possible every day, and he's following the rules, and there's a lot of rules to life that really do work. Another guy is mid-30s, huge conference, lots of investments, some really interesting tech world and some old-fashioned world stuff, and moving at high levels. Man, he was just super open to having conversation, and he's highly, highly successful. So ego, where the brokest, the person struggling the most, argues so much about so many things and doesn't really listen. It's really fascinating. So that'd be number 1, right? I think. Number 2 is not, I always say this all the time, we just don't know what we just don't know. So how do we go find the information? And that goes back to kind of number 1, you've got to get rid of the ego. Then you've got to go find the information and really try to take action. And it's really hard on a lot of things. So it really requires a lot of study, a lot of reading. Like, I do one-on-one coaching with Patrick Bet-David every single month, and I get like 15 minutes or something. And like laser coaching with them, whatever they call it. And he's always telling me to read a book. Like, always telling me to, like, the number 1 thing I got out of that is like, read a book as him, and he's devouring information like crazy and hiring the best consultants all the time for his organization. Number 2, he's like a massive action taker and meeting with these top people and anything he's trying to learn. And number 3, he's always hiring people to go do things that makes money and spend it so he doesn't have to do an activity. Like, he doesn't pack his own underwear for trips. And like, you kind of look at that, you go, okay, Well, that goes into number three. Well, how am I applying all this and how am I creating time so I don't ever pack anything anymore for what I'm doing, right? I need to get my life together. I'm trying to work on that. Like I'm trying to work with me and Elena and the team that she's kind of assembled around us. So I don't pack anything. I got to make sure like I'm not wasting a half hour a day, especially on pack, start traveling, getting people to help me because I have just so many things to do every day. It's mind blowing now, right? It just requiring so much. I can have one meeting today for an hour with my Haral. Hopefully, he's going to be another U.S. based partner in the Founders India Fund, and we're just going to bring a lot of capital and help bring a lot of amazing opportunities to people in India through our fund. And we have a really amazing team in India that we've been working with for a long time. And I mean, it's just I need that hour with Haral to whiteboard it. And I think I showed you earlier. Looks like a bunch of scribbles, but Haral got it in an hour. I showed him a bunch of videos I took. I was there for almost 2 weeks. I had to fly, man, I think it was like 30 hours of flying or 24 hours. I don't even know.
It's a
So like
lot.
24 or 30 hours of flying all the way there and all the way back. Flying from India to Frankfurt to Chicago to Puerto Rico or something. It was lots of flying. And then from here, there, and then there back, and then 10, 12, 14 hours a day of travel there with working with people. Very interesting. So that time is critical, right? And I think one of the last pieces is kind of like groups of people you really trust, like finding the right group and then keep expanding upon that group. Don't get stuck in that group, but keep growing and jumping into new groups that can help expand your thoughts and kind of getting involved. And it's hard to find new groups, right? I'm constantly looking at new groups and trying to figure out where else can I go and grow and learn from. And then the last piece of that is really like making sure I'm doing what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God, we learned so much. I got journals full of stuff. And I was trying to have a conversation today with like this guy, Anil Gupta. I was like, Anil, like, what else do I need to do to grow? He identified I need to work with my family more so I can have more optimal and optimize my family life more. He's going to help me create an optimal family life and optimize it, right? Mm-hmm. Not better, but optimal is my new word he's told me today. And I'm just trying to figure out what I do in 26 to get better, right? With me, Elena, all of us, our lifestyle, everything. Just how do I elevate everything so we become an elevated mentally, physically, everything. And then we can help other people, right? Like that's just all of it, right? So we help other people grow. So I think those are some of the ones I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things, and you were talking about growth, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, and I think it's a really important, powerful thing to remember about business is I have this personally held belief that we as entrepreneurs, I think there's like 3 or 4% of people that are designed to be entrepreneurs. We're wired in that way. And I think that we are here, our mission on earth is we're the ones that are crazy enough to change the world. We're the ones that are the visionaries that are supposed to go out and cause positive impact on the world. And I think the biggest spread we can get on this is by, I help one person, and that one person helps 2 more. Those 2 people now help 4 people, and there's an amplification factor that happens. So I do it with keynotes and podcasts. I have one person go onto stage. Now those 100 people in the audience have now been affected by them. Now those 100 people go on and do it. And you do the same thing as well, where it's, founding in a bunch of different things. And I think that's something for me that, that's kind of, I think the boiling everything down that we've talked about is I think that's where it is let's go out, help people become the best version of ourselves. And just go do really cool stuff with our friends. I mean, isn't that business?
Do cool things with cool people in cool places, man. That's all I want to do, Andrew. That's what I told Garrett J. White at lunch in 2016 at a table in Laguna Beach overlooking the ocean. He asked what I want. He looked at me like, Troy, your life's pretty good, man. He goes, what do you want next? What do you want to do? I was like, Garrett, I just want to spend the rest of my life doing cool things with cool people in cool places, and that's it. And I get to do that now.
I have a hoodie that says that, doing cool things with my friends. Yeah, it's great. But now tell me, while we wind up here, one more thing. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years or so? Like, what are your thoughts? What do you see yourself doing?
So I think I'm kind of clear. Like, I've got all these portfolio companies and funds we're building. I think it's kind of this, like right now, I always joke, right? Mm-hmm. I bring it down to some phrases now that I just kind of joked and they've kind of taken a life of their own. My first goal is jets and abs. Like I want abs and I want jets, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
jets and abs is number one, right? And what that means to me is I'm going to be physically healthy. I'm going to have abs. I'm going to have physical fitness. I'm going to be flexible. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be energized. Jets means I become the type of person where my time has become so valuable because it's so effective. It helps so many people that I need a jet to get around to save the time, and it's worth 25, $35,000 an hour to go from here to there because my time is now able to impact people's lives at that level. And it's not about just flying private or something. It's about the use of that resource of time and the type of person where you become of that value to impact people at that level. And I think that's my first goal. And then I always joked after that, then after I have those two and the money and the finances really locked down, and we're kind of have all these things going where it's just kind of like, okay, check, we did this, jets and abs. Then it kind of really went into like guns and bunkers, right? So you really kind of create a security around you. And I know that's funny, but
Love it.
after what the last administration did to America and the world, you kind of sit back and people still are disconnected from how close the world came from falling apart completely and what the current administration is doing to really kind of save the world. I don't think people even Americans, I was on the phone with someone, they still don't understand why we're doing what we're doing with the tariffs. They still don't understand the economics impact that if we don't do this, we're going to be slaves to China and slaves to communism. And I don't think people understand that if we don't do what we're doing, man, we're about to be a slave to the World Economic Forum. We're about to be a slave to people that you don't want to be a slave to. Americans, unfortunately, have this weird sense that like the world operates like we do. The world does not. Go to Syria, go to Israel, and go down into Palestine area. Go travel around there. The mentality is vastly different. People do not understand Hamas. They do not understand jihadism and radical Islam. They don't understand the mentality of these people versus just good Muslims. There's great Muslims out there that are great people, but there's a whole different belief system that is not good, that is treating women poorly, that beats women, kills people. At this drop of a hat, a woman does something, they're going to shoot their brains out. And we have college campuses standing up for these people, right? So it's very fascinating to me watching all of this happen, right? So part of my world is, protecting my world. Then I'm going to go for billions of ballots because if you have to achieve a certain level, you're going to keep elevating up there. Where why not become a billionaire along the way? Why not us? Why not how? Because then that gives us the money and the marketing to go impact even more lives. And then the ballots come in to where maybe I can be involved in government or help shape world affairs where we have enough time, money, and energy to play at that level. So those are almost like the three stages in my mind to kind of go through because maybe somehow we can be a part of helping change the narrative globally. Maybe there's a way of us helping more Americans really understand what's going on in the world, and not just Americans, people that believe in just the concept of freedom. And all these college campuses that are rooting for Palestine, that is not freedom for them. They're just missing the point. Yeah. Somebody's doing great with social media. Somebody's doing great with marketing. Somebody must be doing amazing to get Americans to want to support jihadism, to support radical Islam. And what that means is they're beating women, killing people, raping children, and people are supporting them. They're supporting raping children. The people that were supporting that all these illegal aliens in America not be deported, all these ones that have done criminal acts that have been documented, the families have been thrown into jail for raping someone, beating people, stealing stuff. Our American society is trying to save them from going back to another country. They want to fight for these people. They're just missing it. I don't understand how people are so off. And I think that's what we need entrepreneurs to rise, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they're going to be way more level-headed, those ones that had to earn their way up. Mm-hmm. Overall, compared to some other people that are not traveling, they're not seeing the world, they're not. Again, go to the south of France, go to the south of Spain right now. Man, it is trashed from all this North Africa people and other people kind of moving in all over the place. There's the difference between Istanbul side of the country and the side closest to Syria, and you'll see it, the development, the mentality, the action, the energy of the place. Istanbul's popping, and then it slowly goes down to Izmir, and it kind of goes down a little bit level as it becomes more heavy Muslim influence. By the time it gets over to Syria and the heavy Muslim influence, the energy, the growth is not there, right? So I think I want to be part of helping the world grow.
Yeah.
I want to be part of the Dubai equation mentality of the world, what's happening with Tulum and the growth of that type of area, and then Quintana Roo, and how those type of people in Mexico are like pro entrepreneurship. Let's build something great. What America used to be, that energetic push, that's still happening in fragmentations around the world. How do we be a part of that, man? So I don't know.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier, that I think entrepreneurs have a very specific role in the world, and that is to change the world and change perspective. Our perspective is very different than most people's, and we have a lot bigger world perspective. We have been through some shit, we've gone through it. I think if you go into entrepreneurship with any level of like personal issues that you're going to fight your demons. There's no choice about it, but it gives you strength on the other end. And I think that's what really helps, is that strength to be able to say, no, I reject this. And this isn't what I think is going on. I see these other 4 things that you're missing. And so I think we have a very specific space. So Troy, always awesome talking to you, man. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, sir, Andrew. Have a great day.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle and Grind podcast, where we unpack what it really takes to build something that matters. If today's conversation hit home, do me a favor. Share it with someone who's in the trenches too. And if you're building your own brand, platform, or message and want help turning that story into serious authority, head over to theauthorityforge.com to see how we can help. Until next time, keep showing up, keep shipping, and keep chasing the work that sets you on fire. I'm Andrew, and this was the Hustle and Grind podcast.